All right, footprints. Three major things that we need to be concerned about when it comes to our footprints. Um, it's the information that our tracker is gonna mainly be looking for from our footprints, and it's the easiest things he can get. Number one is gonna be our gait. How far apart are our steps? Am I running? Am I walking? Am I injured? Um, Number two is gonna be the the depth of my steps. Hey, is one foot going deeper than the other? Is my toe of my step deeper than my heel? Um, those all have different signs and different tells. Um, that's we'll touch that later. Um, Number three is going to be the age. That is the main thing we're worried about is the age. We're gonna fucking talk about artificially aging. That is the number one way to buy yourself time and or fuck with a tracker. Um, whether that tracker has a dog or not really affects the way you handle this being tracked. Um, but if they have a dog, you're you're not as fucked as you think. It's actually a lot easier to fuck with a dog team than it is a person team because dogs need a certain amount of rest. They need food. They need water. Um, and they can only really track you by scent. Um, so if you're fucking spraying shit behind you or you're smearing stuff while you're leaving a physical trail while smearing shit on like trees and stuff, you will throw that dog off, or at least buy time with the dog fucking circling around, sitting in one spot for maybe all it is 5 minutes. That's 5 minutes of you going the complete opposite direction, you know? Um, that's what matters. So we're gonna fucking get into footprints. We're gonna discuss the three things, and a couple of ways to defeat that. You'll never be able to get rid of them. They're always going to be there no matter what you do. You can wear comically large animal footprints. You can wear animal footprints under your boots. My team's experimented with it. It works, but it's not really worth fucking high kneeing it through the fucking woods to make it look good. It's not worth it. Not really. You waste more time than you gain with it. Easiest one you could do is if you're in a group, have your rear man literally just look behind them, walk in the same tracks that everyone else has created, and really dig that heel in at the end, right? The way a tracker is going to tell that someone's walking backwards is that toe is going to be deeper, or that toe is actually going to strike the ground before the heel goes in, and the toe will actually be deeper than the heel strike, whereas naturally you're walking heel to toe. A good tracker will catch that almost immediately and start going the other way. But it works. It genuinely works. And as you train to it, as you experiment and actually examine your own tracks, when you're training, like, take the time afterwards to actually look at your degradation. I said that right. Degradation, like SOPs, TTPs, and see how well they actually perform. If you, an untrained tracker, I'm assuming, an untrained tracker are able to tell that something's happening here, or are you're looking at it and you're like, that's actually not as good as I thought it was going to be. Take that information, put it in your back pocket, try a different way, or try to alter it a little bit. If you're gonna change something, do it one thing at a time. Don't fucking change 6 different things and be like, oh wow, it still looks like shit. It actually looks worse now, but what was it that I changed, right? Like, do one thing at a time so you can actually track down what was fucked up, and maybe somewhere else, something else that you've done implements the same thing, and you can get rid of that, and it'll look better now. These are all things to take into consideration. All right, walking backwards fucking sucks for the rear dude, right? But it's the easiest and simplest way. You'll throw a trained tracker probably for a loop for like 5-10 minutes. It's not a lot of time right now, but in an evasion scenario, that's a fuck ton, especially if you're running during that time. But you won't be. If you are establishing a J hook, then would be a good time to fucking have your rear dude like loop around the side of your trail. Here, I'll show you. You got your route going this way, right? You're gonna have your rear dude break off here and kind of like come back. And what's gonna happen is you're gonna have these guys break off, come all the way around here and go. The hope is that he's not gonna see, the tracker's not gonna find these tracks up here. He's gonna look at the fact that you guys broke off, right? Because that's what it looks like. Your rear dude breaks off and turns around, and he might backtrack. And if he does, good on us. If he doesn't, so be it. It was worth a shot. You don't want to spend like a fuck ton of time on this, right? You want to balance we're building distance and space between the tracker and ourselves, as well as I don't want the tracker to know how close he truly is to us. It's a mental game with trackers. A lot of it is mental. That's one way you can do that. Fucking another thing, your gait, right? It's a telltale sign of how heavy your load is. Fucking how fast you're walking, if you're injured, like say fucking one dude slipped on a rock, he's got a twisted ankle, he's gonna baby that ankle now, more than likely. He's gonna baby that ankle. It's his left foot, say is the one that got injured, his left footprint is going to be shallower, or it's going to be more of a toe, less of a heel than his right footprint. And that will follow through everything. His gait's immediately going to go from this to a little bit of this. He's going to baby that shit, right? What can you do about it in that situation? Nothing. It sucks, but you're going to have incidents like that. There's nothing you do about it. What a tracker is going to be looking for in your gait is you could get a height, you can get the weight like we already touched on, the speed of which you're moving if you're injured, as well as people are different heights, people have different gaits. On a prolonged movement, people are going to stop or start to fall out of their track discipline and fall back into their natural gait as they get tired. A tracker, a good tracker, a well-trained tracker is going to harp on that fact that, hey, I'm starting to see these dudes get tired. How can I tell? Because their gaits are starting to mismatch, their track discipline is starting to fucking dwindle, and or you're just naturally walking closer together. That's fine. It happens. It's a real thing. You just have to be mentally aware of it and make sure it doesn't happen for as long as possible. Or if it does happen, change it. It's that simple. It's 3 a.m. I've been up all day. So I don't believe we touched on aging your footprints. If we have, I'm just going to retouch it. This is all ground dependent, right? I listed out here, grass, game trails, mud, sand or snow, broken twigs, fucking overturned leaves, bent plants, right? These 3 down here are the products of you just walking naturally. It happens. We'll touch on that in a second. Now, your footprints in grass, what can you do? Your last dude can sit there and he can try to like take his foot on the grass and kick it back up, right? Your imprints will still be in that grass. Grass has a memory leaf. Like, it will memory in a fucking, what do they call it? Like fishing line. Same shit as grass, dude. You step on it, it's gonna stay like this. Your last dude will just take his heel and flip it up. Maybe it won't be straight up or like this as it used to be. It'll kind of be like this, but what that's doing is it's gonna make that fucking footprint look older than it actually is. Game trails. Hopefully we all know what game trails are. It's just fucking a common place where animals walk through the woods and it kind of naturally develops a trail. As a human being, you subconsciously will take the route of least resistance. So if it's a fucking game trail on the left and 300 feet of thorns on the right, sucks. More times than not, you're going to want to take the thorns. Why? Because all we have to do is physically defeat the tracker. That's all it is. We can age everything as much as we want to. We can degrade everything as much as we want to. But if we're walking in a straight line and we're walking on fucking fucking trails and fucking in tall grass and open fields, right? Like, we're going to get caught eventually. Maybe not right now, but eventually we will get caught. We'll get hemmed up. And that's a whole nother scenario. If you can make the tracker look at the tracks, look at where he thinks it went, look at the tracks, look at where he thinks it went, and go, fuck that, and start walking around, that's a whole nother scenario. That's a whole lot better than the fucking tracker looking at your tracks, looking at the game trail. Huh, nice. Make it hard for that tracker to follow you physically. Whether that means you absolutely fucking punch through these thorns and just eat it like a man, or you fucking go through the thorns, cut out of the thorns, back into like open forest, and start booking it. You're gonna have that dude walk into the thorns, and he's gonna continue walking, because I guarantee you, more times than not, he's not gonna be looking at the ground, trying to see, okay, how far do they continue through these thorns? He's gonna push all the way through the thorns and then start looking for spores. And if he doesn't find any, guess what he has to do? He has to go all the way back to that last spore that he saw, which was on the other side of the thorn bushes, right? That's just an example. That's the thought process behind it. If you physically defeat the tracker, it doesn't matter. He's cooked, you're fine, for the most part. Mud, right? Your footprints are going to be fucking brutal in there. Nothing you can really do. You can take palm fronds or pine needle branches, right, with a fuck ton of pine needles, have your rear dude just drag it behind them. Or what my team's done is we have little broomsticks we've cut off. We'll sit there and we'll pad shit behind us. If you're the rear man, you'll fucking pad like you're dusting your footprints. That can age them, make it more shallow, make it seem older. It can actually dry it up depending on what type of broom you have and how much you've used it, right? Like if you have a straw broom, that'll fucking wick up some of the moisture sometimes. Just little things to take into account. Where we normally use the brooms is like on sand and gravel. More times than not, we'll just fucking sit there and pad it on the sand behind us. It's super quick, super easy, and it doesn't take a lot of time, right? That's the number one thing, is time is your best friend. Whatever you can do quickly and effectively, pick that. That's the best answer I can give you on that. Snow, not a whole lot you can do, man. Snowshoes are everything. It'll limit the depth of your step. It'll keep you on like relatively the surface. And try to move during fucking absolute blizzards, dude. If you can move during heavy snowfall, do that. That'll immediately cover up your tracks or at least age them. But you're kind of fucked in snow. That's all I gotta say about that. Broken twigs, broken branches. I'm sure if you've looked into this at any point, you've seen people talk about taking dirt, taking cami paint, and rubbing it into that white portion of the twig that has now been created. Absolutely, it works. What you're doing is you're darkening up that fresh green, white internal stem of that branch and making it seem weathered. What that does is that as a tracker, you're gonna look at it and you're gonna go, fuck, that's not a spore, that's been broken for a bit. Maybe some animal snapped it, but that's not my guys. Or they'll look at the footprints, they'll look at that, and they'll go, oh shit, these guys are trained at least roughly to this level, right? A good tracker will notice counter-tracking techniques more often than he will footprints or fucking like general spores. Are hard to notice. When they're gonna pick up on an actual spore is luck of the draw, more often than not, or someone got undisciplined, or we just took a quick little halt, and you're getting comfortable, and you didn't fucking waft up the grass that you laid on, and now they see, okay, dude sat here for like 5-10 minutes probably. They sat here. This is fresh. It's still down, right? A good tracker will notice broken twigs and stuff, but more so they'll notice counter-tracking techniques more so than the spores themselves. Take that into note. It also gives them a rough estimate on like what level of dudes they're going up against, right? You can determine, hey, these are just run-of-the-mill infantry dudes based on the fact that they're not doing any sort of counter-tracking techniques, or you'll fucking be like, oh, dude, these guys are fucking seer trained because they've done X, Y, and Z, right? Maybe we start taking more of a tactical approach to them when we start thinking like, hey, we're coming up on them. That's all gonna come into fucking play for the tracker. And once they know you're trained, that's all they're gonna be looking for is counter-tracking techniques. Keep that in mind. Overturned leaves, you kick a fucking pile of leaves, there's a dead side, there's a light, like a bright side. We've all seen it, we've all walked in the woods. One side's shiny and one side's fucking dark. Try not to do it as much as possible. And if you do it, pick them up, spread them out. That's all you can do. Sucks. Bent plants. I think we already talked about it with the grass. Have your rear dude fucking come up. If a plant was like this, now it's over here, it's bent because you've been stepping on it, whatever. Have your rear dude come in with his heel, push it back up, and maybe it'll bend maybe like here, or maybe it'll be straight up again, right? But what you're trying to do is you're trying to make it seem like you came here longer ago than you actually did. A tracker could be an hour or two off you, but he's thinking, okay, maybe I'm a day behind, maybe I'm 12 hours behind, right? That is the goal with degradation and artificial aging. That is all we're trying to do. Make him think he's further behind than he actually is. Artificial aging, I've been talking about it intermittently, mainly going back and forth and going on little tangents because I'm fucking tired. I'm actually like double fisting monsters. It's the number one thing we could do. Best way we can actually fucking counteract a tracker, right? It buys us the most time. I've been saying this over and over again. I don't know why I'm still saying it. Probably because I'm dumb. But best ways we could do it is fucking puff up plants we've stepped on. If we just got done with a long haul and we were sitting down, take your hands, take your feet, kick up any grass that we've been sitting on or any dead leaves we've been sitting on. Try to age your tracks, right? It's simpler than you think. It just takes time and practice. You need to actually get out and do it every once in a while. See what works for you. I mean, there's a right way and a wrong way to do it. You don't want to overdo it, or else that's how you alert a tracker that, hey, this dude's trying to do this, so he believes he's being tracked. This dude's trying to do this, so he's trained. This dude's trying to do this, so we need to start looking out for this happening, and that'll better allow us to track this guy. All things that fucking come into play. I'm gonna probably watch this and throw it together and fucking laugh at myself, but I think I've touched on everything I can. If there's questions, fucking ask away, and I'll answer to the best of my ability. We're gonna move on to dogs. Nothing's really hard about dogs. Actually, I would prefer to be tracked by a dog team than just a normal tracking team. Dogs take a lot of upkeep. They overheat. They fucking get dehydrated. They need food. They need water. They need a fuck ton of rest. It's like they need anywhere from 8 to 12 hours of sleep or rest downtime for like 4 hours of uptime. It's absurd the amount of upkeep that dogs need when they're tracking. But that's just because they're fucking working hard. Number one thing that they're going to be looking for, dogs, obviously, is your scent. Now, they need some product of yours to give that dog. Whether that's just they have a uniform from somebody else and they fucking have a dog trying to smell a uniform. I don't fucking know how that shit works. But if you can defeat the scent, you can defeat the dog. If you can defeat the handler, you can defeat the dog. If a handler loses trust in his dog, you've won. He's going to start second guessing his dog. He's going to start second guessing whether or not he's actually looking at the right thing when his dog's over there, looking at another thing. The moment you defeat the handler-dog relationship, you've defeated that team. And they're going to have to restart from ground zero, simply off the fact that that trust, that bond has been broken, or at least damaged. Ways to do this for scents, right? You have bug spray. Fucking spray that shit behind you every once in a while. Especially if you think they're close to you, that'll fuck them up. But know that you don't want to spray it too high, or else you're gonna fucking hit that tracker. Is gonna get hit with a waft of bug spray and be like, holy shit, bug spray. Right, that's gonna alert him. Keep it low to the ground. Anything you're spraying, keep it low to the ground so that it's at dog level or lower, like dog nose level or lower. So like around your lower shins or your ankle is like the best place to do that. Fucking stink bugs, if you find them, pop them, bro. that there's nothing better you can do than fucking find a stink bug and blow that bitch the fuck up. One, you don't want to be there. If you don't want to be there, how do you think an animal feels that their nose is like 100 times better and stronger than ours? He don't want to be there, so he's gonna fucking do something way over there when really he needs to be over here, right? Stink bug will fuck him up. Water. If there's a stream, you've beaten the dog. Trees over here. Bitch. Water. Right? You are going to book it into the water and go either upstream, preferably upstream, maybe downstream, depending. That's up to you. You make that decision. But you're going to go in the water, you're going to move in the water for probably 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers, and then you're finally going to cross. What this is going to do is the handler's going to look at that and go, all right, I just got to get my dog across the water and we'll start. But in reality, you've carried that fucking scent of yours in that water. The reason we would go upstream is so that they're going to actually that scent's going to fucking come drafting down in the water. Not the scent, but anything of yours is going to come drafting down that water. The dog is going to naturally drift to the direction of the water. Believe it or not. It's going to naturally fucking drift to the direction of the water. Why? Because that's just the way it's going. Everything is path of least resistance. It's not going to want to fucking go upstream. It's something instinctual. I don't fucking know. It's just what we're taught, what we're told. And it works. There's been exercises where they've had dog teams on us, and we go upstream, and we watch the dog literally walk downstream along the side. And maybe that's the handler doing it. Once again, fucking degrading that bond that they have. Or simply the handler doesn't want to go upstream. It's as simple as that. Laziness and complacency will kill a fucking tracking team. Or some other ways. Other things, fucking... I'm trying to find ways to like bring this to a civilian side. If you're going out and you're thinking you're being tracked by dogs, throw some beef jerky somewhere near your trail. That dog's gonna get a whiff of it and he's gonna fucking book it there because that dog's not eating well. That dog's not getting fucking treats and shit, right? It's getting fucking rough dog food that he's had for the past fucking 5 years of his life. He's going to pick up on that and he's going to want that. That is going to be his treat, right? He'll pick that over you every day of the week. We do it occasionally if we know we're going to be tracked. And it's a whole like seer exercise because these are things you have to practice. If we're going to do like a 1 or 2 day seer exercise and dogs are going to be out there and we know for a fact dogs are going to be out there, we'll cheat the system and we'll fucking bring like dog biscuits or we'll bring beef jerky, or one dude brought a fucking steak one time. We were supposed to give it to the dog. We ended up eating it, but that would have worked really fucking well. Now obviously the handler's gonna fucking see that steak and be like, what the fuck, these people, like, what are they doing? They know they're being tracked by dogs at this point. And they're purposely trying to throw me off, right? That the handler has to allow that dog to do that. But if this is a start, or even if it's later on in the tracking, and a dog is so fucking dead set on going one way, the handler's gonna follow it. And once that handler sees why that dog was going there, immediately that handler's gonna get pissed. Why? Because he just lost that trail for something completely irrelevant. God, I hope that lived up to you guys' expectations. It's really simple. If there's questions and shit, fucking hit me up, ask. I'm super tired. I'm probably gonna look at this while I'm editing it and fucking be really upset with myself for how shitty it is. But yeah, dude, fucking solid. It's simple. It's really simple. It's not hard to age stuff. It's not difficult to beat a tracker. The problem becomes when you do too much. Then you're shooting yourself in the foot. Big things. Puff up fucking foliage that you've stepped on or laid on. Fucking track discipline when you're walking in a group. Fucking defeat the handler, not the dog. Defeat the relationship of those two as well. And make a tracker look at something and go, I don't want to do that. If you do that, you're better off than just booking it in a straight line. We'll talk routes and stuff later. Actually, that's a good point. I have fish hook up here. All right, last thing. Got you. You're walking. Somebody wants to take a break, or you're gonna enter your initial hide site or your patrol base for the time being. Maybe you don't think you're being tracked yet, but you're gonna enter a patrol base, an OP, an LP. You're not gonna just walk straight to it and be like, oh, perfect, right? That's not what you're gonna do. You're gonna be walking, you're walking. I see over here. Oh wow, look at that bad boy right there. That's where I want to be. I'm gonna keep walking. I'm gonna turn. I'm gonna bring it in. What's this gonna do? You now have an avenue of approach built for trackers to come straight into where you expect them to come. What you're doing is you're luring trackers, if you think you're being fucking tracked, or if you think you're not being tracked, they're going to follow your tracks. That's a tracker's job. You're luring them into an avenue of approach where you expect them to come. At all times, you should have security looking at this avenue of approach that you yourself have created, right? Talking fucking like path of least resistance. You've broken trail here for a tracker. They're following your spores, whether it's a day or two from now, if you're established in that area for that long, they'll come get you. Have your machine gun, your dude with a fucking FRT, have him set up on that fucking avenue of approach, and you're set, dude. They'll walk into your enfilade of fire, like they're walking into your left and right lateral limits, and you're fine, dude. Line them up and then move. It's that simple. That's the goal with that. Once again, I apologize that it's so fucking lackluster. I probably skipped a lot of things. I've been awake for probably close to 36, 40 hours at this point. Just got an op coming up. Fucking get out, practice it, examine yourself, in kit, out of kit, with minimal kit, stuff like that, and see what your tracks look like. See what your aging looks like, see what your degradation looks like, see at what point on what type of terrain you lose tracks, or like they look shittier than other times, right? Like nothing will be as good at encasing a track as mud and snow. Snow will go away quick, but mud will last forever, man. Do it yourself. That's all I can really say. And you'll figure shit out. You'll come up with your own little ways of doing it that might be quicker, might take longer, but look better. It's all on you, bro. If you have questions, ask away. I'm sure there's gonna be plenty, because I fucking explain shit so quick and so tired. But hopefully it answers some questions you guys had about fucking artificial aging and track degradation. All you need to do is make that tracker think about how old that is. Think about, is that really my guy, or is this somebody else who was here a week ago? Or have the handler start second guessing his dog. The moment you do that, you beat that. All right? Have a good night, guys.